because I honestly don't remember. It's been like 8 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks. But
Same
yes,
thing.
it's been a while. A lot has happened in 2 weeks. Um, who wants to go? Well, from what I remember, it was we got to Calixus Prime. We sold off all our merchandise. Then Ben, I believe, went to talk with the person that he had the job to steal the car for, and told her that basically the car was hot and it took too much damage and we couldn't salvage it. Um, and I believe she told us about someone, about the person that gave us the job, a little bit about them, but not too much.
Just slipped the first name.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what. Then, we bought. I believe Ben went and looked for a warehouse on the planet to buy, and I believe we bought one for 50K, something like that, like as a base of operations.
Yeah, with the hangar.
Yeah, with the hangar.
Underground warehouse with the
Mm-hmm.
adjacent
Correct.
hangar for spaceships.
We made some contact with a person that wanted us to escort them to, it was, I believe, 404, or I think it was 404, right? Somewhere in 404. We didn't know where, because 404, as far as we knew, didn't have any planets. And when we found out, it was actually a fleet of ships that they wanted us to bring them to, which was called a DSTA, which was, what was it? Dark.
Scroll up in chat.
I was reading the membership info, but you put DST on everything for that. Dark Space Trade Alliance, yes.
Yeah, because I can't be bothered fucking writing that thing out all the time.
She wrote it one time, so we know. So yeah, we went to a fleet of Dark Space Trade Alliance ships, and they this was the person, by the way, that promised, I believe, Brody, if we do this for them, if we bring some of their mechs to the DSTA, they'll get us a membership there.
We came here to pick stuff up to take to them.
Oh, we came here to pick up. Okay, so we came here to pick up. All right, and I believe part of it. Yeah, part of it was we would get a membership in there, because to get a membership we need someone that's already in, and he was gonna, do it for us. We landed. As soon as we landed, we got asked a couple of questions and offered membership if we were to accept, and I believe all of us accepted. And I think that's about where we ended it.
So I do vaguely remember you did a job. First of all, there's a couple of things. First of all, you did a quick job on Alexis for some shady person that needed escorting to.
I completely forgot about that guy. Yes.
And it was the first time all of you used your T5 weapons.
Yes, it was glorious.
I was just about to say it was glorious.
Yeah, right? That's the only word you could use for it.
Yeah, and then you went to 406, not 402.
Was it 406? I said 405. I thought. Oh, I can see the ship. I'm dumb. Yeah, sorry, I said 404.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, so we went down instead of up. Okay, so we went to 406, and then we met the Dark Space Trade Alliance.
Yeah, you docked at right now on the Behemoth class carrier HMS Dashery. That's where we left off.
That's where we are.
You signed all the membership deals, contracts.
Yeah, it's been a really busy 2 weeks.
I hope I can actually find the goddamn documents, because I have too many Google. And I tend to write everything down like a couple of sentences in several different ones, so I have to usually go through 5 or 6 Google Docs before I can get a full picture of what the hell.
I mean, I think that might be your fault. You might want to just consolidate everything.
It's definitely your fault.
I mean, everything is my fault, but then it's your fault.
I'm glad you agree. Recorded that for posterity.
Admittance is the first step.
Yes, I am. I am doing the 12-step program. At an intervention. How's everybody been?
I had
Everybody,
3 days off work last week.
lucky bastard.
Only because it was like -30.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. It was negative. I had to shovel a whole like quarter of a block of snow.
And I'm all the way
It
down in the
was not
south,
fun.
and even I was freezing my ass off.
Yeah, I'm in New York. Oh wait, aren't you from Chicago? Not you, Mumbo.
No, I'm in Georgia.
Yeah, I know you're in Georgia, but traffic, aren't you from Chicago?
I live in Michigan.
Michigan, right? I knew it was somewhere around there. Yeah, Chicago and Michigan were pretty bad.
I don't
Oh,
know what
New
you
York
guys are
didn't get
talking
hit too
about
hard.
all this like cold weather. That's fucking standard winter for us.
You know what? Shush.
Yeah, but you live at the North Pole.
I mean, maybe feels like it sometimes.
No, it was just it was unexpected weather drop. It went from like what, like from like 10 Celsius to negative, maybe negative 20, just randomly.
Yeah, it was
It was pretty bad.
-30, and right now it's
Negative 30 Fahrenheit, right?
at that point negative
Yeah, so it's about
Fahrenheit and
negative.
Celsius is about the same around that.
Yeah,
point.
about the same around there.
But now it's about 10 Celsius out.
It's gonna be really cold again on Wednesday, I believe, in around that area. At least it's supposed to be. Because I was looking at Chicago weathers, and it's like cold, hot, cold,
Yeah, so you get
hot.
the joy of having a lot of snow first, and then it melts, so you get flood damage, and then it flash freezes again, so it becomes super
Yep.
slippery.
I threw a shit ton of salt. Like my whole hallway was full of salt because I was like, nah, I'll clean up as soon as it heats up because I'd rather not, slip and die.
That's probably a good.
Yeah, I stayed home for like a couple days playing RimWorld, of course.
All right. So you exit the office to whoever it was that gave you or where you signed the membership contracts. So now you have an
Dave.
entire carrier or almost an entire carrier at your disposal to just mess around with.
Shit.
And as you all walk out, you see Carter standing there with a bit away from you, from the door rather, talking to one of the escorts that you had, power armor. She's standing there without her helmet. The rest of her dressed in full power armor. And yeah, they seem
When you
to
said
be.
escorts, my mind went a different place.
I know, but it's not that kind of escort.
I thought it was.
Well, I don't
Like,
care.
oh, you're giving us escorts now?
No security detail.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Can they be both?
No.
Can I try and flirt? It's a she, right? Can I flirt with her and see if I can get her into bed?
I mean, if that's what you want to do, just stride up and
Lead or
ingratiate
talk?
yourself. And it would be talk.
With charisma, I believe.
And +1 for the first roll.
9. Doesn't have to be now. I know she has work to do. I'll meet her afterwards.
Let's just put it this way: had you rolled below or 6 and below, she probably would have just punched you in the face with the spoon.
So does she come to my bed for a 9? That's pretty good. And we can go to her bed too. Yes.
I mean, she makes some mention that she get off work at 8 tip time.
All right, I'll give her my information. Tell her where I'll be staying. Just ring me when she's in the front door, and I'll meet her. the front door of the ship, obviously. He said escort, okay? He said escort. He didn't say anything about security detail. He said escort. But in my mind, you know, she had a pretty face. I don't know what's under the power armor, but hey. The ship's reactor becomes unstable,
Yes.
and with a loud boom, everything vanishes.
I mean, that sounds about right. It's either that or the star explodes and you all die of radiation.
I think we'll die before radiation. When the star exploded, it expands a lot.
All right. So you chat for
I
a
have
moment
seduced.
with this.
Oh, wait. Oh, I have subdue. I don't have seduce someone. God damn, I thought it was my goal. My goal is to subdue, not seduce. Damn it. My life goals are a mistake. I need more life goals.
It would have been hilarious if you tried that with the stun baton, because that would have been as a hostile action, so they would have vaporized you on the spot.
No. Actually, no. I'm not making any violent thing against them because that's part of our membership now. We cannot be violent.
Exactly.
It was all, in good jest and, horniness. Because my character has been angry. She needs her frustrations out somewhere.
You have a ship reactor for that. All right.
What?
Yeah, you go into the reactor core, and then you punch it a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't died of
I was just
radiation
thinking, how can you have
poisoning,
sex with a reactor? Because we were talking about sexual things, and then you just said you have a reactor for that.
Anything
I
simply
mean-
means you're brave enough.
Oh no, not brave enough, not that brave.
I mean,
That's a job for your explorator.
I was like,
Yeah, it would
maybe
be
she
a
can put the
shocking
rods
experience.
in. I was like thinking, what? Maybe she can play with the rod. I don't know. I genuinely, my mind went to a lot of places that it shouldn't have.
This went to the darkest timeline real quick.
Oh god, it's all started with the word escort. Uranium. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
All right, so you interrupt Carter and the security guard as
What's her
they're
name?
having a conversation. Mumbo, give me that random.
I thought you said Mumbo's her name. Oh god.
A random
would have
generator?
done
Yeah,
that.
let me pull it up.
Yeah, yes, female name, please, and thank you.
Please. I mean,
All right, yeah. So you have a chat with the security guard, and then the rest of you, Carter, um, politely steps away from, removes himself for the conversation, not to interrupt you, and then you see him walk away as you're having this conversation. So
what time of day is it right now? Or
I
I
have
guess
no idea.
time. Oh, I was just. Do you know what day it is in general? Because I forgot. 5.5. 5. Oh, you never actually did the days.
I have it written down. So,
Okay, that's all good.
all right. So Brody, Ben, what are you doing while Val is having conversation with the security guard?
Talk to Carter and see how soon we can pick the stuff up that we're here for.
Hold on just a second. Technical difficulties.
Evelyn
Right.
Turner.
So we're basically we're shown around the ship, and then we basically have free run of to a certain extent of this giant carrier.
Hold on, I'm just writing. Since when is seduced such a hard word? Just don't even know.
Need to seduce more people. Hellforge. Isn't there a game? What's it called? Super
Honeypop.
Seducer?
Ah, fuck that. Honeypop
think
is
it's-
the best.
Honey Pop is actually pretty good.
I mean, it's
Like,
match free
yeah.
and anime tits. You know, it's the best combination.
I got that from my ex-girlfriend for Christmas one day. She's like, "You have to play this game." I'm like, "Why would you give me this game?" And then the next Christmas, I gave it to one of my friends for Christmas. I'm like, now you can get, you can play this game. It was great. It's an
Yeah.
interesting game.
All right. So, as far as I understand it, as far as my notes go, you are here for, depending, like Carter mentioned something about, take a couple hour minimum to load up the ship and, collect all the parts from the various storage units.
Hmm.
And as far as free reign go, Carter is the one showing you around. The security detail was just escorting non-members to the, visitors area basically. And now that you're members, you have, free reign to go wherever members are allowed.
Yeah, so I'll probably spend the time sort of walking around the, exploring the areas that we're allowed to go into, and not really looking for anything in particular, just mostly out of sheer boredom.
Is there anything we can do? Gambling? Any kind of games here?
So there is a whole heap of things. Basically, imagine a small city on board a ship. Yeah? So there is like every conceivable activity there is in some form or another.
Can I ask around and what's in sorry, I heard a knock. What's on deck F and above? Like I want to ask around and see like to learn more about the ship and what's going on in like the lower decks.
Right? Yeah, you can do that. Or you can just use a what would it be, like no plus int? You just want to search the available records on the
Would have to roll to like search
So-
if they're available.
I mean, like you can find the basic info, but if you want anything more specific than that, you would have to.
All right. So what the basic info? What's on F and onward?
That would be like the engine and engine deck and like the weapons weapon deck where you store munitions and all that
Munitions.
for the specific use of the ship rather than what to sell. And then A, B, and C deck are for the bridges on A deck, and then there is the command staff on those deck.
Hmm. If someone is in a mech, can I teleport them together or no? Would that be too heavy?
I mean, it does say on the thing on the either on the teleport, forget where it is, but it does say you can teleport stuff.
Yeah, no,
You
I
would have
know there's like a weight limit. That's why I wasn't sure if if that would count on the weight limit.
I mean, if you're touching the mech to teleport it next to you, then yeah, it would count as the weight limit. If you're in the mech and teleport, it counts as part of you.
Okay. I mean, I might be able to go down there and steal some mechs. Just saying, if you guys want.
Sounds like a really quick way to lose our memberships.
I mean,
If
on
nothing
you.
else, I'm hoping after the mech fights, there'll be like a super scrapped one that someone doesn't want, and I can take it and fix it.
It'll take you a few years.
Are you
Uh,
down
I
You
for
have
scrolls?
was thinking, I mean, I have a date tonight with a security guard. I can swipe her badge, look like her, maybe sneak in down there, get in a mech, teleport into our ship. No one's gonna notice.
Did you have any more questions, Ben? Sorry if I skipped them.
I don't think I had any questions. I was just going to say I'm perusing the, what's available. Basically, just walking around. Like maybe there's a stall that's serving food, or a noodle shop like Blade Runner style or something, and I'm just eating things and watching all the happenings on the ship with interest, mild
Yeah, so
interest.
I knew
yeah,
it for
so I was
animes.
kind of getting to that. So um, when Val is walking over to talk to the security guard, you have a brief moment where you can ask Carter something before he starts heading off towards probably like maybe 40 meters away from you, where there's a cornered off area with what looks to be like some decorative hedges, maybe like waist high. And yeah, you can see from where you're standing, there seems to be some a bunch of tables there, and he gestures for you to follow.
Yeah, I can. I'll follow him.
All right. So yeah, you follow him over, and he sits down by one of the tables, and yeah, as you come up, he says to you, Brody, come as well. As while I don't want to downplay your culinary experience on your ship, I have never tried anything better than what they serve here. And he gestures for you to sit down.
Yeah, so I'll sort of raise an eyebrow and say, like, okay, yeah, I'll sit down and see what he has.
Yeah, so as you sit down, so don't know the exact word for it, but basically imagine a picnic table or a picnic bench rather.
Yeah,
So you have the table in the middle, and then there is like bench on each side for 2 or 3 people. Yeah, as you sit down, whatever that is, on the table itself, like a keyboard appears, hologram, would it be like a hologram keyboard? So yeah, you can tap in, and you see Carter when he sits down, he starts tapping on the keys with far more accuracy than would be for someone who's experienced that for the first time. And he is rapidly like flipping through the menu, and you see like a heads-up display, you know, reacting from the table in front of him as he flips through all the menus and orders some food for himself. And yeah, if you start clicking on the keyboard as well, you get the heads-up display reacted in front of you, and you have a whole list of options for foods. Desserts, appetizers, main course, and if you want some extra sides, like basically whatever you want, you can order that through the menus interface.
yeah, I'll scroll through them, and they have like little pictures or something on the side.
Yeah, so it's a picture of the dish itself, whatever the dish that might be, and then there is an ingredients list next to it. And then if you need to, like if you're allergic to something, you can omit certain things and have it replaced by something else.
Yeah, I'll find something that looks good. Maybe customize it a little bit and then put in the order.
Yeah. What are you doing, Brody?
I'm gonna order a steak.
Excellent.
Space steak, the space cows that we're delivering.
No, those
maybe.
went to New Eden, so those were used in the gladiatorial arena.
Hey then.
The menu doesn't say, it just says steak. I don't know what it's from.
What's rat steak? Would there be rat steak?
I mean,
You big ass
probably,
rat.
I
you
mean,
can probably vat grow some rats if you really want to, but no, that's like it has a list of what kind of steak it is, you know, how it's prepared and all that, and how you want it. So if you want medium rare or well done or whatever you want it, you can also select if you want it cooked a specific way. But yeah, you just all sit down, order your things, and Val, as the security guard, Evelyn, um, you know, mentioned that she needs to go back to work. You might see you tonight if we can get off on time. Yeah, you turn around, you see the group of you, your crew, sitting by a table in the restaurant area.
I'll join them.
Yeah, in the restaurant area itself of the order, there is maybe 20 or so benches spread out like convenient distance, so you don't there is no the servers which staff can walk around without you know with enough wiggle room to not walk into someone. And yeah, there's probably like maybe a good handful of people, not a lot, but there's a couple. And then in the far corner, there's three individuals in long crimson robes sitting talking to each other. Yeah, the servants, maybe after a minute or so, the servants come up with the platters, serves to all of you. Do you have your food now?
Oh, I won't.
And yeah, as you're sitting and eating, Carter taps the keys on the keyboard again, and all of you have in the middle of the table comes a hologram of the ship itself that lists the available levels where you can go, like the basic info of the ship. So you see like the A is the officer deck, B deck is the bridge, and the C deck is for a command crew.
We're allowed in those places?
Sorry, what?
We're allowed in those places?
No.
Those are just the deck numbers, I think.
So it projects the whole ship, yeah. So you
I
see
see.
all the
Mhm.
so you see
So we
all
can
the
only be
levels
on
like
D and E at decks. The way you said, it said deck A through C and F onwards are off limits, so we can only be on the D and the E, right? Okay. All right. The way I read that earlier was a little different.
yeah, no, I probably phrased it wrong.
No, it was just a little convoluted. Yeah, it's all good.
And yeah, so those three on top are bridge and command staff where they hang out, and then F is the gun decks. And then after that is the munition store, and then the lowest deck is the engine deck.